Wonderful. Good, let's see who will join today. Just to check, Sigrid and Studio Le Mans, welcome. You could try to write something in the chat if you like to. So I see if everything is working, if you already add your PC. Eric, hi. Juan, hi. Welcome. New format today. We'll wait for 5 minutes. I will get a coffee quickly, and I will be right back. Hey, George. Nice to see you. If you can hear me, you could type something in the chat if you want to, saying hello or so. Let's see how that works. Nice. Hi, Juan. Nice you're here again. I'm trying today a webinar instead of a meeting. That's why we don't see each other. Hi, George. Hi, Michaela. Nice to see you. Doris. Hi. Antonio. Hell there. No, we can't hear you, George, because you are muted. So I need to allow you to talk. Second. So now we can hear you, George.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear.
Yes.
But you will be muted in the most cases.
Okay. I just it was not possible to mute and unmute myself, and I thought that something was wrong. That's
No,
okay.
it's all good. I created a webinar today.
Okay.
Because it's easier to get the people in here, and it's not limited in size. So we'll try this version today. I'm not sure if I prefer this one because we don't have your videos then. Let's see how we continue for the next times.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. No one, you can't interrupt me today. Only in the chat. That's why, actually. This is live on YouTube too. So I'm trying this as well, seeing how that works. Yes, you can see the questions from others very soon. You can watch on YouTube if you want to. Like just go to YouTube, search for Holger Niels Pohl, and there you will see the stream. It's live now as well. We will start officially in 2 minutes, so just relax for now. Lean back. I record this session as well, so I will put that online in the near future too. Yes, I would, Laszlo, George, right? George Lassos. I would recommend Zoom for web trainings as well. Yes, I use Zoom for everything that's virtually, basically. If I have to, I use Google Hangout because for some clients, they only use Google Hangout, for example, or Skype, but I prefer Zoom. Yes, I have a camera, a document camera here. That's a Ziggy. That's something like this here. It's the Ziggy Cam from Epavo, and it's basically a USB plugged into my Mac, and therefore I'm able to record my drawings sometimes. If I want to put it down, I will do that in a second. Yeah, it's a kind of a web. It's not really a webcam, but basically yes, it is. Cool. So we have 14 people here. So why don't you use the chat to write from where you joined today? That would be lovely to see, actually. So write down where you're coming from today, where you're dialing in. Just use the chat, find the chat window. It should be even possible on mobile. Still Frankfurt? Yes, I'm Michaela. You will stay in Frankfurt though? Home office from France. Doris, that's nice. France is not too bad as well. Having a home office there. Would enjoy that too. Nippes. Hi, Marcus. Köln. Amsterdam. Yomi from Amsterdam. Antonio from Chile. And one from Kuala Lumpur again. Nice. Athens. George from Athens. So we have quite an international session. Hello there. That's cool. Wonderful. Hank from the Netherlands. Studio Le Mans from Amsterdam. It sounds so French, actually. And Liane Liane, I guess it's a German name, right? Liane Himbeerspecht from Germany. Wonderful, thank you. Cool, so nice that you made the way today as well. We will have a very casual, relaxed session. Together, answering some of your questions when it comes to virtual meetings, how to deal with all that new stuff today that we're faced now. And hopefully my connection holds up the queue, so to say. And I want to start with you with an exercise. So perhaps you take a minute and grab something that you can draw on, like a piece of paper, your iPad, a sticky note, whatever it is. Let's do a very quick drawing exercise, okay? So if you want to join me, just grab something to draw, and we will draw something in a minute. So I will use my paper here and a normal like black pen here, nothing special to draw on. And I know some of you are very advanced in terms of drawing, so but some might be not. So let me just share two drawings with you that I want to share with you today. So are you ready? Like, just try to raise your hands, give me a green light, or just write in the chat like a yes, I'm ready. Ready to draw. Yes, Antonio, I'm at Cool Studio Limon. A lot of yeses here. Raim, hi. Hank, Suren, nice, good. That's enough yeses for me. Let's start. So I want to teach to you today how I draw a bicycle, right? Let's draw a bicycle, because that's so tricky sometimes, and a lot of people make it so complex. So, and you might even be able to draw this bicycle with your children together then. So I start with somewhat like a triangle that is oriented this way, like being on the tip here. And I draw a second triangle that is connected to it here. And all of a sudden, we already have the frame for the bicycle. We add a cycle here, one here, then we need a seat, and we need something to steer it. And that's our bicycle, right? As easy as it is. Let's repeat that. I start with a triangle. I continue with the second triangle. First circle here, second circle here, and then a seat and steering. That's it. Hope this works for you. That's my easiest way to draw a bicycle, right? Hopefully you can draw a bicycle that now too, especially when your kids are asking, could you draw me a bicycle, right? Perhaps it helps. And then perhaps something more complex, because sometimes people ask me how I draw my people. Let's draw a person. I start with a head. It looks like this. By purpose, it has a pointy hair here, which indicates kind of the point of view here, looking in that direction. Adding a shoulder that is slightly bent, upper body as well, slightly bent for me, because we are human beings. We don't have straight lines. We're not robots, right? And then adding the hands, sometimes like the arms like this, and then the hand here and another hand here. And all of a sudden, you have a person that's just standing there looking somewhere, perhaps having an idea, drawing a light bulb here. Quickly created. Hopefully you too, a person. So how was the pace? Did you come with me? Could you follow me? Was it good? Did it help you? Hopefully you learned something today. Cool. Wonderful. Let's start every session with a small drawing exercise, I would guess, because that keeps us drawing, that keeps us practicing together. And perhaps in the future, even you can train with us too, and suggest some drawings and draw them yourself for us. I would love that. So we have raised hand. Daniela, that's the raised hand. I think that's kind of. Do you have a question, Michaela, or is it clear? Just raise it in the chat. So what I want to do now with you is I share a Jamboard with you, a link to a Jamboard, and I would ask all of you to go to that Jamboard, and I will share my screen as well, so you can see the Jamboard as well here. This is the link to the Jamboard. There's nothing, you don't have to register or something for it. Just it's just a Google Jamboard, and I'd share my screen as well. Share my screen. So you should be on that Jamboard, and I would like to ask you, either on my screen or read them yesterday, right? Quickly read through them and write your own questions as well to them, right? On the left side, there is the possibility to add a sticky note and just write your question and then place your question as well on this board. I give you like 2 to 3 minutes to write your own question or just read the other questions that you have on this Jamboard, either on my screen or you join yourself on that Jamboard. Just go ahead, read those questions quickly, or add something that is not addressed for you as well, right? Just go ahead. I give you like 2 minutes working time for this. So feel free to add sticky notes, just add them on the left side, or write me and I will edit. I can only view it. You should be able to access this. Like, let me see. For everybody, you can only see it. My bad. Always dürfen die Daten ansehen, ändern, change. Now, try it again. Either reload the page or I repost the link. I repost the link, you could join again or reload your page. It should work now. Let's try it. So don't use the one yet. Don't use the number 1 yet. We will vote in a second, but just add your questions if you have some additional questions. Yes, I see people interacting. Uh-oh, some critical questions there. Very good. Questions coming in. Cool. You have like 20 minutes left to ask your questions. 20 seconds. Did I say 20 minutes? 20 seconds, of course. Cool, cool. George, my book will be ready when it's ready. Somehow the pandemic interrupted with my plans. Didn't have, like, the last 3 weeks, I couldn't write a single line. Ah, that's a lot of cool questions. I know you've already reported. I'm on it. I'm on it as fast as possible. How many people are online today? I will see that in a second. 30 people we have now. That's super cool. Okay, cool. So now, please, I have an experiment with you, and it's with 30 people. It's sometimes a bit tricky, right? But we will do that. You have a green number 1 in the lower left. Everybody copy and paste it. Like if you select it and say copy paste, right? And put it on the question that you would like to have answered today. Put it on the question that you would like to have answered today, right? Just put it on the question you would like it to answer. Yeah, you can tilt it around. Put it there, everybody. Just quickly on your most interesting question. Yes, interesting. Number 1's coming in. This is called Dotmocracy virtually on a Jamboard with the lowest possible technical burden. Ah, that's interesting. That's interesting. And there are 20 seconds to choose. I see some ones floating around. Very good. So we have a favorite, like, do you have ideas for icebreakers? New questions coming in. Summary, yes, wonderful. How to bring the audience, how to bring audience participation to virtual meetings with visuals, right? That has a few ones as well. Can you suggest visual tools? Using gamification tools, great, great, great. Okay, cool. That sounds good. That sounds very good. Hope no one is cheating, putting more ones on their own post-it. Yes, right, Antonio? That's always the question. You can't kind of restrict it. I will share the recording, Sergey. Yes, I record everything. Great, cool. Okay, please stop with the ones in Stowe. Please stop with the ones. Please stop suggesting questions now. So we will have a status quo. Wonderful. Let me just dig deeper in this very quickly. We have 3 ones at can you suggest any tools? We have 2 at the bring out audience participation to virtual meetings. And we have 3 ones here at the icebreakers, 2 for gamifications. So let's start with the 2 ones that have 3 points, if you like. And before I do that, just mentioning, because you're asking for tools, and I'm stop sharing here now for a second, because you're asking for tools, Jamboard is one of the tools that I'm using very regularly, because it is so low key in terms of technology, right? So everybody can literally use it, or most people can use it, basically. It is super ugly. It is very restricted in size, right? Because you only have this piece of paper where you can put the sticky notes on. But what you can do is, and for those who are not on the Jamboard itself, I share my screen again for a second. So for those who are not on the screen, they can look at my screen now. You can place pictures, right? So you can say here, upload something from my device, and I take, for example, here a picture and say, let me see. I go to my visual library, for example. Let me go to my visual library for a second. Here, and then visual library. And I have, for example, values. I put this here, the picture, upload the picture quickly. This is a PNG file for me. So it's uploading a PNG file here. And then I have kind of a transparent picture that I can place wherever I have. I mean, I don't have much space here now, but I can place the picture here. And this enables me to work with visuals as well and sticky notes. There is a drawing feature, but it is super difficult to draw in Jamboard, so I would not recommend that. Actually, it's really messing it up a lot of times. But with the pictures, I like it. So I combine different tools and I do that. So just one answer to any tools to visually facilitate online. I think Jamboard is quite powerful, even if it is so restricted, right? So that's one of my first inputs here. Icebreakers. Let me see, there are some questions. Yeah, iPad support. I think, I'm not sure if Jamboard has an iPad support. I'm not sure. Yes, I will share something in the Google Doc from the Jamboard, right? Icebreaker that I like to, and today we can only do it, like I can do it for you now. I can somehow visualize it for you. But what I like to do in normal workshops as an icebreaker, I do this in virtual workshops as well. Today, we can't see our videos. So normally when you have a meeting, you would see all the videos. But what I do is I say draw portraits, right? A lot of you facilitators out there might know that exercise already, but I like it very much even in virtual sessions. So what you do is you have to look at the screen, either your own profile or somebody in the meeting room. You watch how he's looking in the screen, and you have to draw the portrait without looking at the screen, without looking at your paper, right? So I just make it quickly. So I would look at my screen so that I can see myself, and I need to kind of draw myself like a portrait of myself with, oh, I have a beard, I think, and never ever look on the paper, right? So be careful. This is me now. Don't laugh. And everybody can share his portrait or her portrait of herself in the video chat, right? So how it works is everybody sits at home in front of the laptop, and they most likely have a camera, and they see themselves in the camera, right? What they do is they have a piece of paper in front of them, and they have to draw their own portrait, but they only look at the screen, not at the paper, right? That's important. So they draw something very ugly, and then they share this, and everybody will laugh a lot. In terms of warm-ups, that is very helpful. Another warm-up that I do is, what I normally do is say, okay, now we sit at the table or at our working space. Why not stand up, right? Stand up and move a bit, right? This is something a lot of people miss out in virtual meetings because they're going from meeting to meeting, from call to call. You can't believe how much time nowadays I spend on this chair. It's crazy. So what I do is say, just let's stand up and move around a bit. And if they moved around a bit, perhaps for like 2 minutes or so, or a minute maximum, they can come back, relax, and start working. Why not using these techniques as icebreakers too, right? That helps. That helps a lot. Or just having shared drawing sessions. That's another one as an icebreaker that I like to use as well. And the other one that I like to work with is having breakout sessions and talk to each other, like what they want to reach, for example, at that day. Another one that I like to do is, that's the last one for today that I share, is that I say, write down on a piece of paper or the iPad what you personally want to get out of this meeting today, right? So they write it down, and for me, it's kind of meeting people. Meeting people. They write it down. Perhaps they do a very rough drawing of it or something. And perhaps somebody has a coffee in their hand as well. And I let them share afterwards what they want to get out of this meeting. Very easy techniques, right? Very low key. But why not using these techniques that you would normally use in a normal meeting as well in a virtual meeting? Many people overthink virtual meetings. Just try to transfer what you anyway did to a virtual meeting, and that's fine, right? So there is another in-between question with the timing and time boxing. I did this yesterday as well. I use time boxing with my camera, right? That's another thing. So either with the iPad or with the iPhone, I would put up a literal time box and say, for example, for this exercise, you have 5 minutes time. And I would put my camera on the timer and let everybody know this is the timekeeping, right? If this clock is running off, it's running off, right? It's not so difficult, right? Just doing it that way really helps a lot. The timer is called Time Timer. Time Timer is an application you can set up. Name is Time Timer. You can preset different times. For example, if you have like a minute, 2 minutes or something, and then jump into, for example, the 10-minute example and then start it, make it full screen, and it's super nice. And this is showing then the off-going time, so to say. I like it very much. It's very visual as well, very visual. And I would have this as a physical time timer as well in my meetings, but now I have this as well in a virtual world, right? So that's regarding the time timer. And that is basically another tool already for visual facilitation online, right? So hopefully that is helpful today. You could give me kind of a yes or something. Give me a yes if this is helpful for now, what I'm telling you. Give me a yes in the chat. Wonderful, thank you. Thank you, Satar, Sergey, George, cool, Liana, Raina, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful, definitely helpful. Yeah, Jamboards is available for iPad. Hank wrote just now, it's available. So here's another tip, and I'm showing you some analog things. I showed this yesterday as well, but I want to show something else today with it. So this is a magic, it's called a magic whiteboard. It's an electrostatic foil that you can actually place on every wall. A lot of you might use this already. The nice thing is that you can place it on a movable wall like I have here in my back, and you can then use whiteboard markers in the best case to actually draw something on it while you facilitating. And yeah, you can actually visualize very nice, really in the back of you, and kind of relate to it if you draw down, for example, a concept or something, because you always have space around you when you have a video conference. So why not using this? Why I like this even more is the magic whiteboard is, as it is electrostatic, you can use normal paper that you print out up front, and you just put it on the whiteboard paper. Because it's electrostatic, it will stick, right? So that way you can have prepared visuals, and you know I like preparing much and a lot. You can put them just on your whiteboard, and they will stick. So you can either draw something up front, or you print them. So I have these kind of preprints, for example, at the moment, with all the topics in terms of regarding virtual meetings, right? When it comes to what we want to do and like train something. And you can really use that for your purposes. And I like it because you can use normal paper and just stick it to that. I think that is super helpful, especially linking your own real world in your home office, for example, with the world of the participants. They can relate much better than just showing PowerPoints, or even, and that's something I said today to one of my coachees, sometimes people are a bit put off if you just share your iPad screen, right, and draw on it, because they don't see you acting. People nowadays, especially in this situation, they want to see you in person, right? In person. Yes, Laurie says Miko's Statis. So Miko is actually selling this this whiteboard paper as well, right? So statis.com, it's kind of this here, statis.com. It's not cheap, but it is really cool. I like it a lot, right? So they can really help, especially in this situation. And as I said, people like you to act, like to see your hands, like to see, like, not too, like, of course virtual is good and digital is good, but they like to see what you do as well. And another tool that I use, that I suggest for the visual facilitation online, is I highly recommend Miro as a whiteboard tool, right? So I use Miro, which is, let me share my screen, which is another tool I use. oops, my timer, the 5 minutes are up. The timer, the 10 minutes. It's called Miro, Miro.com. Like the artist. And it basically has, you can create like an indefinite number of boards. And what I like with it is very flexible. It had a lot, I never use the templates, but pictures that you have in the Miro board. But the other thing is it works on the iPad as well. So you can even log into the same board when you are on your Mac, on your iPad as well. So I'm just now logging into this Miro board too. And I'm now in my Miro board here. And I can use my pen. I'm just showing it you here in my camera, if you still see my camera as well. So I am in my Miro board. I can use my iPad pen as well and add, for example, drawings with my pen. It's not that comfortable to draw. It's a bit rough sometimes, but you can even write with your pen in it. So, and you have basically an infinite canvas here, right? It is infinite. You can place sticky notes on it. It's not the cheapest one. You can write in the sticky notes as well, right? You can rename them, you can color them, you can do like a lot of stuff with it. It's kind of really powerful tool. It costs a bit, to be honest, but I think if you are in the business of facilitating, especially, or if you're doing meetings with your company, it is really worthwhile doing it, to be honest. So, and I like the combination of being able to work on the Mac or on the PC and on the iPad. This is a super powerful tool for me to work in. It's called Miro. I use this especially for my coaching sessions when I have my private coaching clients. I use this a lot. So we have a board where everything is put on. It's cool for strategy, especially for strategy. Today I built something like here, just to show you an example. Let me share this on my not here, but on my real screen. For example, when I do preparation for workshops, it looks like this here, right? It's more complex, right? I would have the template of a world map to see where we want to go, from where. I would have my workshop preparation canvas that I created for creating the workshop and seeing what activities we do. I would have a culture map in terms of how we act in that workshop. I would have the known unknown axis that I talked yesterday about to see where do I need to prepare, where not, right? And building up this kind of board, I have everything regarding my workshop on this board, which is super comfortable. I like that a lot. So that's one of the tools I really like to use, right? So let me see. I think no, Miro is not only for Apple. So Miro is a software, an online software you can use on every device, actually. So that's what I use a lot in terms of facilitation. So there was another question with the camera. The camera is a ZiggyCam from Ipevo. It's called ZiggyCam. Let me see, like this. It's a document camera that I use, so I can either show myself or the table to draw on paper. I can share my workshop preparation canvas, Sumaya, of course. I don't have a good description for it yet. I'm working on it, but it will be online very soon. I think it's very helpful if you want to design proper workshops to think about with your clients, especially as a co-creation tool. Put it up with your clients, load it up in Jamboard or in Miro or somewhere, and you can collaborate with your clients. So I talked a lot, and I answered at least 2 questions. Just give me kind of a feeling how that went for you. How was the drawing session, and how was answering those questions? Because we are already at half an hour, if you can believe it or not. I like those very short sessions. It feels nearly too short, but I can't effort more. It would be too stressful for me at the current situation, to be honest. But hope you like the session. So if you could give me a very quick feedback in the chat, that is cool. Wonderful. We have really good advice. Didn't feel that exhausting, but it's good for focus. Really enjoyed it. Cool. Thank you. Yes, it's one full session dedicated to drawing. Yes, Surin, we can yes, we can dedicate a session to drawing, perhaps either today, tomorrow, or next week. I buy you coffee in Amsterdam. That would be nice. Thank you. Very good. Magic Whiteboard, Jamboard. Very good, very good, very good. Fast and actionable. 30 minutes is perfect. I think so too. I will host those every weekday, right? Every working weekday. If you want to have the reminders, like calendar invites, you can write me an email, workvisual-institute.com. So if you want to have Holger@workvisual-institute, there's my email address. If you want to have the calendar invites right to your inbox every day, right? You can then delete it if you want to or ignore it. But I would send you the invites every day if you want to. You can just write me a quick email with like, please send me daily reminders or whatever. It's not a newsletter. It's just like an email list to send out the invites to this Zoom webinar, right? Cool. I would say, yes, I am on Instagram, on Facebook, on everything with Holger Niels Pohl. Just search for me. And then I see you tomorrow or next week. And I hope everything is fine with you guys. I enjoyed this a lot. I'm looking already forward to tomorrow. And then see you very soon. Bye. Bye-bye. Good day to everybody. I'm closing down now. Recording will be online soon.